Hi you guys, welcome back to my channel. This is a highly requested video on highlight and contour, so stay tuned. Alright, so first I'm going to start with hydrating the skin. You want your face to be hydrated because if it's not, you're going to get that cake face look, very patchy, etc, etc. So I'm using the Glam Glow Thirsty Mud Hydrating Treatment. Smells like coconuts. For the sake of this video, I already did my eyebrows. Oh my god, I put too much on. We might look like we just ran a marathon, but that's okay. Next, I'm going to be using Glam Glow Mega Illuminating Moisturizer, if I have any left. Yeah. So this is just a base and also to give me that extra glow. Alright, so now that the face is hydrated, the product will be able to absorb, soak it in.
2 hours later.
Alright, so now that I've put on my face, we're gonna go right into it. I got you covered. I like to use Anastasia Beverly Hills Stick Foundation. I know that it's not used for contour because they do have actual contour sticks. I find that the colors looks very gray against my skin. So that's why I went with an actual stick foundation. It's a shade of a skin tone. So that's why I use it, because then it doesn't look ashy on my skin. First, I like to contour my cheeks. I will take a normal eyeshadow brush and I will take the harder end and I'll just go over top of the stick foundation and I'll put product. Usually I won't put this much product, but because I'm demonstrating for you guys, I am just going to show you kind of how it looks. So you're just going to go along the face of your nose. This way it'll really narrow it out. If you watch any contour videos of people contouring the outsides of their nose, it creates a shadow, so the nose actually looks wider, whereas when you contour your nose closer to, like, the lines closer together, it'll make your nose look more narrow and longer, skinnier, because then you highlight the rest of it and then it just looks like you have a nose job and it looks perfect. I want to make this part of my nose, this lower part, I want to make it lifted, and I want to make it smaller. So that's why I put the foundation stick contour thing right there, like that. And some people like to start with highlight. I like to start with contour just because after you contour your face, you blend it out, you add your highlight, it just allows you to correct any muddiness on your face. I know that some makeup artists use that term, so I'm not a makeup artist, but I'm gonna use that term too. Going into the cheeks. What I've learned, that if you put your contour right here in the middle, so like below your cheekbone, you're going to create a smaller space for your jawline and it'll just add 10 pounds to your face. So what I like to do is find kind of like the top of your cheekbone, and what I'll do is I'll just draw that line right there like that. So that way it goes down still on a slant, but it will really make my cheekbones prominent and it'll still give me all that space to make my face look slimmer. And at the end of the day, that's what we want. Moving on to jawline. As you can see, my jawline is right here and goes in like that, but we want to make it a little bit more snatched. Oh, this is hard. than it looks. If I have my mirror. So just like that. If you put it a little bit underneath your jawline, but it's still very visible, but when you blend it out, it's not as noticeable to other people, and then they won't be like, oh, she contoured her face. It just looks like you're a gift from God and everyone wants your jawline. Up at the top, I kind of just like add just like that. So that it slims out my forehead. Sometimes people like to bring their contour from their cheeks all the way in, but I like to blend it a lot so that when I do blend it, it's not as harsh going into my mouth, just because I want it as far away from my smile as possible. You want everything to blend properly, and you don't want to leave any trace of contour. So already you can kind of see that this side has more of that chiseled look, whereas this one kind of just rounds out. When you do blend out your cheek, you want to keep it in this range. You don't want to go down lower, because the closer you get to that jawline, the larger your face is going to look. So what I'm going to do now is I'm going to leave this part of my nose right here. I'm going to leave that until I put my concealer on. You can definitely see the difference. The contour line in the cheekbone, the jawline, and then also this side of my forehead has a shadow, so it looks a little bit smaller and it makes my face look more narrow. I'm just gonna go in and blend out any harsh lines. So next I'm going to be using concealer. Right now I'm using the Fit Me by Maybelline. What I like to do is conceal under the eyes. When you get closer to your the tail of your eyebrow, you go a little bit smaller, just because it is a smaller space next to your contour. Normally what I do have is I do all of my contour, but I just wanted to show you guys like what it would look like with that blended out. So now I'm taking my stippling brush and I'm just now blending out any contour that I have. Again, making sure that you're keeping it in that section. Now that my contour on my face is blended out, I am taking a smaller beauty blender. Now I will be blending in all of the highlight. Alright, so now that you can clearly see contour, highlight, highlight, contour, contour. Sometimes people like to put that line right there of highlight, but I don't like that because in photos you can almost see the line. So I like to stay away from that. Next, I'm going to take Kat Von D's translucent setting powder, and I'm going to put that again with the little beauty blender because it's only a little tiny pot. You go from like the mid of your ear and pull it down, and then you also put this product underneath your eyes. I just like to pat it in and not bake because I'm not done with my under eyes yet. While I'm letting the lower half bake into my skin, I'm gonna finish up with the under eye. So I am taking another concealer. It just brightens it up a little bit more. And you want to get the side of your nose as well because that creates the highlight. So you can already see how much brighter this eye is compared to this eye just by adding that extra concealer. Now that I've brightened my under eyes and the baking is still in progress, I am going to set my under eyes with powdered foundation, again from Maybelline, the Fit Me collection. And I am just going to pat underneath my eyes. So this side looks more blurred compared to this side. You can still kind of see the pores. Now that that is done, I am going to be using my bronzer. I love the Hoola bronzer from Benefit. I think that it just complements my skin tone so well. It does not make me look ashy at all, and it is a very nice brown. So I am just going to use the brush that it comes with because the pros know what they're doing. I'm just going to put the bronzer over top of the contour, and I'm going to bring it up, and then I'm going to take it down to where I contoured my jawline. I'm actually going to blend out my nose right now before I do any blending with the cheeks. Again, I'm taking that same eyeshadow brush and I am blending. And then using my finger to go over where the highlight was and then blending everything out. So now that I have my contour hot. Hello?
Hi.
Hi.
I was gonna ask you if you wanted something.
Why don't we go to Earl's Happy Hour?
I'll call you when I'm leaving work. It's
Okay.
chilly outside. Okay, I'll talk to you soon.
Okay, bye.
Okay, bye.
I'm almost done, the home stretch. So the next products I'm going to be using are Bella Pierre Cosmetics Powdered Blush. So this is really nice because it has like more of a nude coral color to it, and I really like it because it goes well over top of bronzer. It really brings out the pigments. And just apply this to the apples of my cheeks. So next I'm going to be using the Kylie blush. In my last video, I didn't give this blush enough credit, and I tried it once and I've been using it ever since. And it's Crush, and I made this whole big deal about it last video about how it doesn't go with my skin tone and blah blah blah. But it is now my favorite one. I wear it every single day and I just love the way that it looks. Very important highlighter, Anastasia Beverly Hills Nicole Guerrero. As you can see, this palette is very, very worn. I'm gonna go with the more nude color just because of the color of my blush. I don't want it to clash with anything. And then on my nose and on my chin. Take a little stippling brush and I go in with the white. I just put that in the corners of my eye up to highlight my brow arch, and then above my nose and Cupid's bow. finisher off. Kylie Cosmetics. And there you have it. Contoured, highlighted, bronzed, glamified, all in a day's work. So I hope you guys like this tutorial. Give it a thumbs up, subscribe. Catch you on the flip side.